This strategy made me over $500, and that is why it is the best booming crash spike catching strategy. I'm going to show you guys exactly how this strategy works and how it is able to predict when the spikes are coming and how you can actually use it to catch some spikes. Okay, so without wasting much time, let us set up the strategy and then we'll go straight to spike catching. The first thing that we're going to need to do is to add the indicators that are going to help us predict when the spike is coming. So right now I've opened my chart on Crash 500. As you can see, we are in our 1 minute time frame, which is the time frame that we are going to be using for this strategy. Remember, we want to catch some spikes, which means that we want to get in and out of the market very quickly. But the good part about this strategy is you are actually going to be able to catch multiple spikes. I'm going to show you a trick that's going to help you know exactly how long to hold until the spikes come. So let's get into it. So the first thing that we want to add to our charts, I'm going to go to my indicators section, then main window, and we're going to add the MACD. Now this MACD is going to have the following properties. We're going to have a fast EMA of 13, a slow EMA of 21, a MACD SMA of 9, apply to close, and we're not going to have any levels on this one. Then on visualization, just allow it to be on all time frames, although we said we're going to be using the 1 minute time frame only. And then on styling, we're going to have the main as green and the signal as red. Please try and follow the same colors that I'm using, and then you can later on customize once you are comfortable with the strategy. Okay, so once we are done, these are the final properties. We'll simply click on done. As you can see, we now have the MACD added down below. The next indicator that we're going to need is going to go under our indicator window 1. So make sure you click indicator window 1, and we're going to add the Bollinger Bands. Now these are trend indicators, and they're going to really help us to find our trend when you want to catch those spikes. So the probabilities for this indicator are going to be as follows. The period is going to be 200, the shift is going to be 0, the deviation is going to be 1.500, and apply to first indicators data. So make sure you remember that part so that this whole strategy can make sense. Okay, and all levels once again on this indicator, and we need to make sure that you have a style of black so that they are really visible on your screen. So once you're done, click done. As you can see, the Bollinger Bands lines are really visible on our screen, which is perfect, which is what we need. We're going to head straight to the final indicator that we're going to need for this strategy to work. And going back again to my indicator section, I'm going to click under indicator window 1, and we're going to add the moving average. And this moving average is going to have the following properties that you see on my screen. The period is 2, the shift is 0, the method is exponential, apply to close. We don't have any levels once again, and the color for that moving average is blue. So we're going to click done. And as you can see, we now have the blue line added as well on our chart. So this is all you need. This is the final strategy. Now let's jump in straight to how do you actually use it. Now this is a very beginner strategy, but it's going to help you identify trends and turning points in the market, which is exactly what you should be looking for. Now remember, I said for the strategy we're going to be using the 1 minute time frame. Okay, and remember, I'll be sharing trades on these in our VIP signals group. And actually, I'm going to give away a free spot to those that comment down below. So if you don't want to miss that chance, make sure you subscribe, like this video, and comment down below because that's where the winners come from. Okay. So how do you actually use this strategy? How do you catch some spikes? So right now we are on Crash 500, and I'm going to show you a simple thing that you need to follow. It just happened a few minutes ago, and you could have actually made some profits on this trade. But nonetheless, let me just show you. This happened a few minutes ago, right here. Okay, so the first thing that you do if you want to catch spikes on Crash, that means if you want to sell Crash and catch some spikes, number one, you have to wait for these green bars that we have from our MACD to touch the upper Bollinger Band. Now, remember we installed this Bollinger Band, and it is It has got the upper part, the middle part, and the lower part. So this upper part, once it's gets in contact with our MACD, the green bars that you see right there, then that is your first sign that there is a chance that we might sell in the market. So this black part got in contact with the green uh, bars from the MACD, and that was our first sign. But obviously, we can't enter a sell based on that. We're going to need a confirmation, and the confirmation is just when the blue line crosses with the red line while it's showing your 1 minute time frame. Immediately you have to enter into the market and wait for the spike, because definitely it's going to come. And as you can see, could have ended anywhere around this region, right? And you could have managed to catch either one or two or this one on the spikes, right? So that was not much, but let's take a look at examples where it was quite significant. Now remember, the confirmations have to be made exactly as we talked about. Okay, so you definitely want to have your green bars getting in contact with your upper Bollinger Bands like that. Okay, that's your first sign. Okay, and you want to have the red and the blue line cross each other. And as you can see, there was a series of multiple spikes that came, which means that if you had entered anywhere within this region, uh, of the conditions being met, you would have managed to catch any one of those spikes. Now, remember, you're trying to find high probability trades, so don't forget that. Your mission is to find high probability trades. Okay, again, here, all conditions were met, and you can see a series of spikes started to follow all the way down. Okay, I want you guys to tell me what you think about this strategy in the comment section. You can even check on boom, and you see that we have the same thing, only this time around. um, on boom, you want to have your green bars touching the lower Bollinger Bands, and that will be your first sign that there is an opportunity to buy in this market. And then you have to wait for the red and blue line to cross each other. And usually that happens within a few minutes of the green bars touching your lower Bollinger Bands. And I want you guys to see what happened next. There was a massive push to the upside, which means that if you had ended anywhere within this region, okay, just look at it. If you had ended anywhere within this region, you would still be profitable because the market then pushed all the way up. So let's say you had ended right here. Look at how much you would still have made just by holding for these few minutes. So um, this strategy is there to help you find high probability trades of or high probability regions of spikes occurring. Once again, there with our green bars touching the lower band, which was our first sign, and then we had to wait for the red and blue line to cross each other, which happened within minutes once again, which means that if you had ended anywhere within this region, you would still be in profit. Okay, so you also have to know and trust your strategy in whatever you are doing. But one thing that I insist is, for example, at this spot, you can see that the green bars did not touch the Bollinger Bands, right? Someone might want to buy before they touch, thinking that they're going to touch, and you can see it was rewarding at this point, but it will not always be rewarding. So you always have to be careful and follow the instructions as they are so that you don't get lost. So you can actually use this strategy on any boom and crash index, and you'll be able to catch multiple spikes. Now, setups might not always appear, but there are a variety of boom and crash indices that I'm sure that you always have a setup when using this strategy. Okay, what you have to just make sure of is knowing that conditions have to be met exactly as they are. Now, if you want to see more of our trades and more of my trading results and my students' trading results, you can join our free Telegram channel. The link is in the description box below. There are over 10,000 traders in that group. all you have to do is click the link and it will take you straight to our Telegram channel where you'll be able to see some of our trades um, that we take. And remember, if you want to win a free spot in our VIP Signals group, all you have to do is to like this video, subscribe, and comment down below, and you'll stand a chance to win a spot. So we can even go back, just trying to show you more and more trades. Okay, let's say, for example, this trade, you can see that the green bars touch the upper Bollinger Band, and it traded for a while before the blue and the red line finally crossed each other, and then it later on gave huge spikes. And I'm saying even if you had entered somewhere around this region, you would still be profitable. So at least now you have something that can give you an idea of when a spike is coming. Now, obviously, you have to backtest this and try this out, and make sure you're not comfortable with the strategy before you actually move on to a real account. Okay, but make sure that all your conditions are really met as we talked about. Just look at this trade right here. We had the green line touching the Bollinger Bands here, but for an extended period of time, there was no contact. Okay, there was no contact, and as soon as we had some contact, which means that maybe you might have been early and ended here, or you might have been late and ended just after the first spike, you'd still be profitable even if you started down below. So don't panic when you miss the first push or the first spike. Just know that there is an opportunity for the market to continue downwards, okay? Because of those conditions. If those conditions have been met, then there's a greater or higher probability that that spike or multiple spikes are going to follow. Tell me, guys, what you think about this strategy in the comment section down below. Until next time.